Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days and 5 minutes as we watch a cold front crawling eastward across Pennsylvania. That is going to be our primary weather maker today into Friday. More on that in just a minute. And we'll also have the latest on Tropical Depression 18 out in the tropical Atlantic. Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York, 631-756-1125 for the best prices in town, especially when it comes to salt. For those of you who are in the snow removal business, there's a salt shortage. Prices are high, and Omni will have the best prices around in the tri-state area and probably beyond. The website is omnitruevalue.com. Wholesale holiday lighting by Giannini, your complete holiday lighting specialist, meeting all your decorating needs. We've got Halloween, we have Christmas coming up, and if you're a contractor, there is going to be a holiday lighting open house free event. Again, this is for contractors. On Tuesday, October 5th, from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. At Wholesale Holiday Lighting at 162 or 164 Ocean Avenue in Lindenhurst, New York. You can RSVP today by calling at 631-957-5106. The website is liholidaylighting.com, and it is a free event. So now let's take a look at what's going on today. The nature of this cold front is that it is very slow moving. It doesn't have a widespread area of rain. If you notice on the satellite from overnight, it's kind of like a stick here of heavy rain and thunderstorms. And as we go through the day, those storms are probably going to be amplified. And in the fact that the upper system, you see the rotation back to the west in eastern Michigan, is not moving eastward, it's moving northward. So that means that this system takes its sweet time. In fact, if you look at the orientation of the clouds, the bottom part of that front is actually moving faster than the northern part. It's already passed through much of the southeastern U.S., where the weather is quite delightful with dry air, and that's going to be the payoff when this is all said and done. We're going to get some nice dry air to come in behind this for the weekend. So here's what it looks like on the radar. And this is an early radar view here, by the way. We're talking at 6 a.m., and there are some light, scattered, showery rains from eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England, and they're coming in from the southeast. And the heavier rains and some embedded thunderstorms run from eastern Virginia and then go northwestward through central Pennsylvania. So the area that's in this rain, it's not a wide area of rain from west to east, because everything is moving pretty much from south to north. It takes a long time for that system to kind of pivot to the east. And that really is what we're going to be waiting for to happen as we move through the rest of today, and particularly into tonight. Flash flood watches are up for pretty much eastern Pennsylvania. Now, this is for this evening. There are flash flood watches up covering all of Pennsylvania, just about all of Pennsylvania at the moment, but after 5 o'clock, it will be this evening. It will be for central and eastern Pennsylvania, almost all of northern New Jersey now. So if you're along and north and west of the Turnpike, you're under a flash flood watch. Also, the Hudson Valley, up to about and north of Route 84, just north of Route 84. We're seeing it also extend back up through the Catskills. The eastern flank goes into Nassau County on Long Island, so the westernmost half of Long Island is in it. And to the south, we've got south central, southeastern PA, and on down into northern Delaware. Now, with respect to rainfall, WPC, the Weather Prediction Center, folks, you can see with that area of rain that's sitting in PA right now, we're generating 2 to 3 and maybe even some 3.5 inch amounts. WPC's actually extended that area up into northern New Jersey and the Hudson Valley, where there could certainly be 2 to 3 inches of rain out of this. The amounts start to tail off as you go east of New York City, and also begin to tail off as you head south down through the Delmarva Peninsula and eastern Virginia. And by the way, the bulk of the rain that you see here in the eastern part of the United States, this is front-end loaded stuff. So once this is done, we have dry weather conditions to look forward to. The other issue to point out today is, and this will be more for tonight As though late today and tonight, as the area of rain moves eastward, it's going to fire off some thunderstorms. We have a very warm and humid air mass ahead of this. So the Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk of severe weather for the time frame for later today and into the overnight from easternmost Virginia across the eastern half of Maryland, the Delmarva Peninsula, all of New Jersey to western Long Island, and then on up northward into the Hudson Valley and the Catskills, and then back west into central Pennsylvania. And we want to point out, because this summer, I cannot recall seeing so many days where we've had severe weather risk coupled with tornado risk. And of course, we've seen the results of that several times. And so we want to make sure we put this info out here that there is a 2% risk of a tornado. That means that there's a possibility of a tornado within 25 miles of any point inside that green circle that you see that SPC has drawn in. So eastern Pennsylvania, all of New Jersey to western Long Island, the Hudson Valley, and on up into the Catskills, and also extending down into eastern Maryland and the northern part of the Delmarva Peninsula, which includes most of Delaware. So let's run you through what the models are doing here. This is the latest run of the NAM model, and as we go through the day, for most of the area that I focus on, which is eastern PA to southern New England, it's just really showery rains. We got to wait for that stick to move through, and this is at 11 o'clock this morning. It's starting to move into eastern PA. It reaches western New Jersey at a point here sometime, say around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then it'll start to lift up and move northeastward during the overnight and into Friday morning. So if you're in eastern New Jersey and points eastward, it's going to be dry pretty much overall for the most of the day, other than the odd shower that comes up in the flow. If you're to the west of that, you're going to see weather conditions deteriorate during this afternoon and into this evening. And then overnight, as the front just really crawls eastward, it's through. This is now at 2 o'clock Friday afternoon. The southern part of that front is weakening. The northern part starts to move along. And then the question is whether that front stalls out now and hangs around along the coast, which is something that the NAM model is indicating here. And that's why we're seeing some showers being blown up over Long Island and southern New England on Saturday. This is a rather new development on this particular model. Most of the other models just kind of move this along and get things out of here. So I'm just going to lean on the idea that we're going to have improving weather conditions over the weekend. And beyond that, we are going to see not much happening going into next week. Just high pressure in control, kind of a weak front there that comes through sometime early Sunday morning. All that really does is reinforce the low humidity and dry air. And then as we move through next week, really not too much happening here with regards to wet weather. So we got some nice weather coming up for the week ahead. Weather in 5 is brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York, 631-756-1125 for the best prices in town, omnitruevalue.com. And Wholesale Holiday Lighting by Giannini, your complete holiday lighting specialist, meeting all your decorating needs at 162 Ocean Avenue in Lindenhurst. And their phone number is 631-957-5106. And the website is liholidaylighting.com. So let's take a look at Tropical Depression 18. And this is the forecast track of the hurricane tracking models. It's going to be a long, long trip across these weather systems this time of year, tropical systems in the tropical Atlantic. They don't have the same push that they do at other times in the hurricane season. When you get into late September, that east to west push tends to slow down. So it's going to take the better part of a week to 10 days for this thing to cross. And for now, the models take it on a west-northwest course to the northwest of the northern Leeward Islands. But I would caution, because there are some of the global models, like the European, for example, which is well to the south and west of this position. And we kind of need to pay attention to the overall pattern that we're getting into going forward. It's going to get very blocky, and that's going to make for rather interesting weather model runs, I think, going forward. And also, the fact that the system is going to strengthen to a hurricane. The conditions are favorable for steady and even rapid strengthening over the next 5 days or longer, and the intensity models just about all of them have this at least as a Category 1 hurricane, and you've got a bunch of them now that are taking this to a Cat 3 and to possibly a Cat 4. So I would not at all be surprised to see that happen. But for now, it is just below tropical storm strength, forecast by the Hurricane Center to become Tropical Storm Sam later today. I'll give you a rough look here at what the Hurricane Center is doing with this. They have it just kind of on that steady west to west-northwest course and becoming a major hurricane by 2 a.m. Tuesday. So for now, this is just really of interest as meteorologists kind of look at this and see, what's going to happen down the road. As I said, this is going to take the better part of a week to 10 days to make the full trip across. So we've got a long, long way to go to look at this. I will have more on Sam and the overall long-range pattern on my weather platform on Patreon, which you can join up on at patreon.com/meteorologist Joe Cioffi. And it's just $2 a month, which goes a long way to support what I'm doing online with videos, website posts, and more. So if you consider that, and if you're a snow removal person, it's a good place to be, because I do a lot of snow coverage that I do not put up on Facebook or on other social media outlets. So give that a thought here, folks. Appreciate those of you who support me. And also, just a note to my Patreon members that for some reason, messages and notifications have started going into your spam folder. You might want to check that in case you think I may have fallen off the face of the earth. I haven't. So check your spam folder, because that's where they have been going lately. All right, it's been a kind of a long Weather in 5, but sometimes that happens. We'll see you guys later, and tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show at 7:30 Eastern.